you're feeling down in the dumps, tired of your health holding you back, look no further than Fire Your MD Now with Dr. Glidden, the radio show that strives to get you in optimal health. Look out, Big Pharma. Someone is looking for the knockout punch. Here's Dr. Glidden.
Is it possible to get all of your nutritional needs met just by eating a healthy diet? No. This one sentence has killed more people than all world wars combined. The false notion that it is in fact possible to secure all of the body's nutrient needs from food. You can't do it. It is a fool's errand. You will always fail if you attempt to do this on your own. You can't do it. But because medical doctors have no training in science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical nutrition, they have no conceptual awareness of this. It should be against the law for someone with an MD after their name to give you any advice whatsoever about anything having to do with nutrition. It should be against the law. But we put these people on such high pedestals, they'll tell us anything they want. They'll tell us that acupuncture is bunkus, even though a gazillion billion people in the world have used acupuncture successfully for the last 300 years. Arguably the second oldest system of medicine on the planet. Oh no, that stuff's no good. They'll tell you that chiropractic is no good. They'll tell you that taking vitamins just gives you expensive urine. How many times have you heard that? It should be against the law for these people to speak outside of their training. But they're so filled with hubris, they're so filled with arrogance, they are so full of themselves that they don't care. They think they're kings of the world, for goodness sake. And it's time we started holding their feet to the fire and putting them in their place. You don't need to be mean. You just need to ask them straightforward questions. Or quite frankly, what's better? Fire them. Just don't even go to see them anymore. Today I'm going to talk about type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, startling statistics. 347 million diabetics worldwide. This number is double what it was 30 years ago. And these numbers do not reflect the huge numbers of children who are obese and therefore at an increased risk to get type 2 diabetes. Now, medical experts have no idea why type 2 diabetes is on the rise. They are completely clueless about this. And they're completely clueless about it because they have no understanding of medical nutrition, which is a tragedy. Because in 1958, there was a medical doctor named Walter Mertz. Walter Mertz, MD, 1957. Walter Mertz did research, and he completely eliminated type 2 diabetes in mice with the chromium supplementation. The chromium is a mineral supplement. He completely eliminated it in mice with the chromium supplementation in 1957. Now, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, 90% of all Americans, of the soils in the United States, are deficient in chromium. So if chromium is related to healthy blood sugar metabolism, and the soil in this country doesn't have chromium in it, do you think that people in the United States are going to be deficient in chromium? Well, you bet they are. The only reason this isn't an even bigger epidemic is because we are eating food that comes from all over the world. So we'll eat, strawberries from New Zealand. We'll eat blueberries from England. We'll eat red grapes from Chile. We'll have salmon from Alaska, right? We eat food that comes from all over the world. So, therefore, the chances of our food having some of the nutrients in it are much greater than for people that only eat locally. And, of course, this, again, is what's happening to the Amish in southern Indiana, which is why they have such exorbitantly high rates of muscular dystrophy, because they only eat food that they grow, and their soil doesn't have any selenium in it. And when you're selenium deficient, your chromosomes get damaged, and you develop cystic fibrosis or muscular dystrophy because of a selenium deficiency in the blood of the pregnant mother. Type 2 diabetes is related to chromium and vanadium and a handful of other minerals. There are approximately 27 minerals that the body needs in order to metabolize blood sugar. Now, the reason that the MDs don't really give a crap about this is because, one, type 2 diabetic. Now, type 2 diabetes is a problem absorbing blood sugar that develops later on in your life. Type 1 diabetes develops often very early in life, and that is a failure of your body to produce insulin. If you have type 1 diabetes, your body, the cells in your body, they're in the pancreas, they're called the beta cells in the pancreas, have burned out, and they have completely lost their ability to produce insulin. Type 1 diabetics are insulin-dependent diabetics, and they have to inject insulin every day. But a type 1 diabetic can become a type 2 diabetic. I don't know of any therapies that will stimulate the body to regrow new beta cells in the pancreas. Perhaps stem cell research can help in this regard, but that's years in the future, if at all. So type 1 diabetics are wedded to their insulin needle their entire life. But we can significantly reduce the amount of insulin that a type 1 diabetic needs to take by giving them medical nutrition. A couple of weeks ago, we had a young man on the show as a testimonial. His name is David. He's currently going to Loyola University, downtown Chicago. He's pre-med. He's a brilliant young man. He was able to reduce his insulin intake by over 75% in 3 weeks with one nutritional supplement, just one nutritional supplement that cost him $24 a month. Do you think he was happy? You're darn right he was happy. But type 2 diabetes, right? Type 2 diabetes is much more prevalent now than type 1 diabetes. It's popping up all over the place. Type 2 diabetes is also referred to in the holistic medical circles as insulin resistance syndrome or syndrome X. And some of the symptoms of insulin resistance syndrome X and or type 2 diabetes, full-blown type 2 diabetes, are the following symptoms. You get really tired after you eat a meal, especially if that meal was loaded with carbohydrates or with stuff that was sweet. So you have a bowl of cereal, it's loaded with blueberries, or you have some pancakes and you load it up with syrup, or you drink a great big fruit smoothie, or you have a couple of cocktails, right, loaded with sugar. Alcohol, of course, is loaded with sugar. When you metabolize, when you consume these substances, if you have a problem with blood sugar, you're going to get very sleepy after you eat or drink these foods. Within 30 to 45 minutes of eating or drinking these foods, you're like falling asleep. That's the first symptom. The second symptom is you'll fall asleep easily at night, but you wake up in the middle of the night after only a few hours of sleep and you're wide awake. That's insulin resistance syndrome. Metabolic syndrome, it's also called syndrome X, and it is a drop-dead indication that you are on the brink of a big-time blood sugar problem. So the third symptom is that this is a more general and more vague symptom. You tend to gain weight around your abdomen. You know, some people gain weight in their butt. Some people gain weight in their hips. Some people gain weight in their legs. Well, if you gain weight in your abdomen, then it's possible that you have a problem with blood sugar metabolism. Now, the thing about blood sugar metabolism is, here's how it goes in a healthy person. You eat something that's got sugar in it. Now, there's sugar in your blood. Sugar, by the way, is the fuel that the body needs. Sugar is fantastic for your body. Sugar is not the Antichrist. Sugar is the gasoline that your body needs in order to function. The problem with sugar is how your body metabolizes it and or how much you're consuming, right? So you eat something that's got sugar in it. Now there's sugar in your blood. In response to sugar being in your blood, your body secretes insulin. Your pancreas secretes insulin. All right, so now there's insulin in your blood. Insulin floats through the blood and binds to the cells in your body, and when insulin binds to a receptor site on a cell, it's like going up to somebody's front door and ringing the doorbell. You ring the doorbell, and then the kitchen door opens automatically. You ring the front doorbell, and the kitchen door opens to let the groceries in. You ring the front doorbell, the kitchen door opens to let the groceries in. That's how sugar enters into the cell. It can't just absorb through the cell wall. It has to go in through doorways, and it is the presence of the insulin which opens the door on the cell. But if you are minerally deficient, if you are nutritionally deficient, here's what happens. You eat something that's got sugar in it, your body creates insulin. Insulin rings the front doorbell, but the kitchen door stays closed. So sugar piles up in the blood, your body makes more insulin. Insulin rings the front doorbell, the kitchen door stays closed. Sugar piles up in the blood, your body makes more insulin. The average type 2 diabetic has hundreds of times, so that might be an exaggeration, has a lot more insulin in their blood than a normal person does. And it is the sheer volume of insulin in the body, in the blood, which eventually forces the sugar, and the emphasis here is on the word force, forces the sugar through the cell wall, damaging the cell wall. Now, is this a good thing? No. Because when you damage cell walls, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day of every week, of every month, of every year, when you continually do this, it is only a matter of time until those chickens come home to roost, and this is why type 2 diabetics or type 1 insulin-dependent diabetics lose their toes, lose their feet, lose their fingers, lose their hands, lose their legs, go blind, because it's the damage created over time to the cells of their body by insulin. Now, what does an MD give a type 2 diabetic? Insulin! And I'm the quack. You've got to be kidding me. What do we do to support and promote healthy blood sugar? Well, we do what Dr. Walter Murr showed us to do in 1957. We provide the body with all of the minerals. Specifically, minerals is what the body needs in this case. Chromium and vanadium and about 25 other plant-derived minerals, trace minerals. When your body has all of the minerals present, the insulin rings the front doorbell and the door to the kitchen opens, lickety-split, no problem, problem solved. I have witnessed hundreds of people who had type 2 diabetes, frank, obvious diagnosis of type 2 diabetes with the blood work to prove it, get on board with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition protocols, and within 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 weeks at the most, normal blood sugar levels. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what you don't know. And when it comes to your health, what you don't know is going to kill you or heal you. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, taking your phone calls when we come back. 866-582-9933. That's toll free. 866-582-9933. This is Fire Your MD Now.